Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about the latest movie in the Despicable Me franchise, Minions and Monsters. By the way, this may be the best of all the Despicable Me slash Minion movies we've had because Minions and Monsters is fucking fantastic. And if Toy Story 5 had not come out just 2 weeks before, I think Minions and Monsters probably could have won Best Animated Movie of 2026. But obviously, Toy Story 5 is gonna win because Toy Story 5 is a more elevated both of these movies, by the way, have elevated stories, but Toy Story 5 is just so fucking phenomenal in such a way. But this is also very good. And you just the fact that this movie, it introduces us to a whole different Minions, not the Minions we've constantly followed throughout the last whenever these Despicable Me movies first came out, right? We're not following, God, Kevin and the rest of the crew we constantly see. This is a whole new group of them. So the fact that we're able to just get so invested into our new ones, Henry, Ed, and James, and we get this whole origin. So the movie begins at a film history museum, and people are giving a tour, and a tour guide begins to tell the story of the minions, but these are a different set of minions, and it's like these are not the ones you've met that that go on to serve Gru or anything. So this movie is that these minions have served some of the greatest villains in the world, but they always end up killing their masters by mistake. And we see our first one, the one that we follow through is James, who is very into drawing and storytelling. And he likes painting, and he becomes friends with two other minions, Henry and Ed. And Ed is a big kind of fat minion who can't speak, so he does sign language, which is really cool. Like very well. And Henry and James help develop sign language so that they can communicate with Ed, which is very, good. So, apparently we go through the villains they had, and they worked with a warlock who was killed by a monster that Henry summoned with the spell book. Ed sees the spell book, and he takes it along. While everybody was fighting each other in the desert because they wanted to do certain things, the minions see a train robbery happening, and they're like, "Oh, okay, this is a bad guy. We're gonna follow." So they chase the robber, right? And the robber is freaked out that these yellow people are chasing them through, and they begin chasing it through, and they go through all of it, these buildings, and they're in Los Angeles. And we see a little director who is named God, I can't believe I can't remember the name of the director, and that's my bad. Max, right? He is basically supposed to be a Martin Scorsese stand-in, and he's like, "You ruined our set. This is a movie," and they didn't know what a movie was, and explain it, and get off my set, and all of it, and the minions leave, and we're in the studio. They're a spoof of Warner Brothers, right? In which I love the high concept of this, right? So we meet basically what are the two Warner Brothers, and he's like, "I demand to see the film." They see the film, and the minion people took over the entire film. He's like, "I love these little people. They must be in everything." So now, fucking what the fuck? He the Max begins looking around Los Angeles for them because this is right before Women of the Right. We're in like 1920s LA. And he's like, "I need you guys to make movies." And then like they become famous, and we see the origin of how they get the overalls and the bananas and all of it. And they begin to become superstars, and it's great. But what happens is that, the movies are about to have sound, right? Because these are still silent movies, and the Minions don't speak English well. So, the Warner Brother people do not like how the Minions sound, they're not doing their lines and all of it. He's like, "You're fired, get out of here." Okay, and the Minions get very upset, but Henry and, the fucking leader of the dude, what's his name? Dick doesn't like them. So they go back to find we're like, "We are minions, we don't make movies." They're looking for the next evil person to follow. But Henry and Ed follow James And he's like, "This is the pitch. I wanna make a movie." And he storyboards it, right? Because James likes drawing. He storyboards the entire thing. He's like, "I wanna do a monster movie." And Max is like, "Do you have a crew? No. Do you have a camera? No." So Max gives him his this camera. And like, "This is the camera. I want you guys to help find it. If you guys can find the monster, come back to me. I'll help you get the movies to come out." And then Ed shows the book with the monsters. He's like, "Da da 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 da, and we can summon it." So they summon this little green guy monster, Gomi, and Gomi sees how naive the minions are, and he's like, "Oh, I can get you guys the monsters you need, just follow me." And they go to this ice fortress, and Henry is shooting the entire thing on the camera. Real scenery, like on film, on location, shooting everything. Meanwhile, the minions with Dick meet a dude named um, what is it? Dort, who's like, "I'm an alien from the planet blah blah blah." And we just think he's a loser who pretends to be an alien. He lives in a shitty apartment with a roommate named Floyd. They're just talking about everything. And we think, oh, Dort's supposed to be some ugly incel type character the way they do it. And he meets a person named Debbie and they go on a date. And Debbie and Dort, you know, have fun. And the minions are following Dort around and the minions begin like being their servants. And Dort runs away when oh, but no, I'm getting ahead of that. Okay. Yeah, so Gomi right, yeah, Gomi summons who is a Cthulhu monster. Yeah, right, I'm trying to remember this. The order of things seem to be very confusing of how everyone's. Yeah, okay. So they go to the ice thing, and they free these 2 other monsters, and he's like, "Wink, wink, follow along." Like, we gotta do what they wanna do, pretend they're helping the movie, and we're gonna destroy the city, and that's what we're gonna do. So and Gomi's like, "If we help him, we can keep getting all of our monster friends free, and we can take over the world." But then, what is which is the one? Henry finds out about the plan, and they go full monster mode, and they release this orange goo monster who eats Henry and all of it, and they freak out, and then LA is under it becomes like a standard Marvel movie with this giant thing. Runs away, and Dort converts his apartment into an alien spaceship, and the minions follow, and they get their spaceships, and they begin to fight the alien, and they have the spray that's able to turn it into ceramic, and they fight, and it's a crazy third act. They fight, they save, they refree, um, they're able to put the monsters back in the spell book. And then we hear cut from, what is it? From James, and we learn that this is a movie the entire time that we're watching, okay? And everyone's there just walking around. So we have been watching a movie of a movie, which is fucking fantastic at the level of it. So these things in West Hollywood, I mean, 1920s Hollywood, they did not happen. This was not real, right? This adventure of other minions is not quote unquote canon to the real world at all. But it happened in a movie that everyone watched, which is fucking genius. Okay? Fucking amazing on how they did this. It is so good. And they win an Oscar. Like this movie won Oscars and it's a film within a film and it was made by James and Henry. Genius. Okay? I can't believe they did this. Fucking fantastic. Okay? Keep making these movies.